Hello. Hello again, everybody. Oh, how are we all doing on this dreary day? It's another grey one, isn't it? Another grey day here in Brum. Don't know how you're doing or you're doing. Doing some drawing, some sort of... Well, basically, I need to make some updates to my portfolio chat. So I'm making a piece for that. Basically, it's going to be a poster. It may look like a bit of a mess right now, chat, but trust me, I know what I'm doing, alright? It makes sense to me. That's all that matters. Might just look like a big scribble, but it makes sense. Basically, it's lots of different characters from this idea that I had for a game, right? Because I wanted to draw some fun characters one day. So I just came up with a fun fighting game called Saturday Nights. And posted a couple of the things on Instagram a while ago, so you may have seen that. Don't know if you remember that. But those are two of the characters, and we've got to draw there's fucking loads of them on this poster. But basically the idea is that it shows off character design and layout and poster design and promo art stuff. So good for a portfolio, I guess. That's the idea anyway. Some of the characters I did, all the other ones, right, apart from those two that I just showed you, I've just got little pencil drawings of from ages ago. And that's all we're going to use as reference here, so we could be sort of making a lot of this up as we go along. And basically that's most of this stream, I think, is going to be making this up as we go. But that's fine. That's okay. You know, that's life sometimes. So let's get a figure in. This is basically, each of these scribbles is roughly where I want a figure to be. I only did it for compositional purposes, right? So here's a guy, here's a guy, here's a guy, here, and here, and then in the background, there's this big dude who's the main villain of the game, essentially. Yeah. Okay, so she's holding a sword, this person. Because this is going to be this person. Oops. This person here, who's the main character of the game. That's why she's front and center on this poster, basically. But obviously it's all super rough right now. We're just getting an idea of some of the poses and shapes and stuff. So what does this sword look like, for example? Yeah, see, it goes like this. So basically it's like a fighting game / 2D side scroller type thing. And obviously I'm never actually going to make this game. It just had I just wanted to come up with a cool sort of aesthetic to design characters for, to add pieces for my portfolio. I'm not even going to put that in there, to be honest. I'm just going to leave that like that. For this arm, and this is the torso here, and that'd be the other arm here. So see what I'm doing here, chat? She's like this, holding the sword like this. She's going to be like that. Does that make sense? Is that pose readable? Do we think? Because So basically you got to think compositionally, right? Everything draws into the title. So the title is going to be here. It's called Saturday Nights, and this is going to say Saturday Nights here. So this line like draws you in here, this way, this pose, and this sword, and then her pose, everyone else's pose is going to be like pointing in towards there, basically. Apart from this guy who's going to be looking out and away, because he's evil, so he goes the other way, right? What are we up to then? Yeah, we're designing a poster because I need to update my portfolio, so we're making some new pieces for that. And this is a poster for. Basically, I came up with an idea for a game that I would make if I was a game designer. Mainly because I wanted to come up with some new characters and stuff, so I needed a setting for that. And so we're doing a poster for the game as if it were real. But at the moment we're just working out composition and poses for all of these characters, because it's basically just a load of different characters on the same poster. So it's going to be a bit crowded. So if that's like don't really know what to do with these legs. How to have them. I think we just have them basically like they are here. Yeah, let's do that. Like the tunes. Yeah, thanks. Just add something to fill the space, you know. Not every stream is going to be chaos and lots of chatter, so you need something to fill some of the dead air, so to speak. To be honest, a lot of this leg stuff is going to be covered by the text, right? In fact, the text is probably going to be even lower than that, because otherwise it's going to muddy up this pose. It's going to be like here. You still want to make sure it makes sense broadly. His legs are way too big. I'm here, if only for a bit. Ah, hello. Welcome. How are you doing? How's things where you guys are in chat? Dre and Grizzly, like here? I imagine so. Adam, you'll appreciate what we're doing today. I'm making a poster for, I don't know if you remember, I posted this on Instagram a while ago. Some character designs for a game idea that I had. Yeah, we'll make a poster for that. Things are grey, are they not? What a shocker that is. I think things are grey nationwide, quite frankly. yeah, so we're making a poster for as a portfolio piece. But at the moment we're just roughing out some basic ideas for poses. And I'm spending way too long on this one. To be honest, it should just be a rough. It doesn't have to make sense, right? But I'm getting hung up on it. Really? Saturday Night's a pun-based fighting game, and I'm all for it. Exactly. Exactly. Is it better that way? Probably better that way, isn't it, chat? Yeah, so basically we're drawing a load of different quirky character designs in one poster. That's sort of the idea. So that we can showcase some character design ability, but also like promo art type stuff. We'll come back to that. We're going to do way more refining than we already are doing, chat. Don't worry about that. Let's move on to this one. Yeah, so this character is this character, right? She's like the leader of the Saturday Knights, who are like this. In the game, they'd be this like group of vigilante women who go out and beat up punks. And this is going to be this girl who's like, her thing is that she kicks. Because it's like a fighting game, right? So they all have different movesets. So this person like has a big sword, and that's her deal. This person has armored legs, and she kicks stuff. She's like a kickboxer. I'm just roughing out some poses, thinking of basically hips, right, connected to rib cage, right here, and then connected to that your arms, right. We want some quite fun poses, basically, because it's a fighting game, so they want cool, like, fighting poses. It's like Vice City mixed with Mortal Kombat. Yeah, a little bit. Basically, the aesthetic style is like retro rave, like 80s future stuff, and medieval knights. So they all have like medieval armor on, but they live in like this weird sort of kind of neon cyberpunk future. Honestly, the whole idea basically came to me in a fever dream, chat, one day. As all the best ideas do. Right, And then all the other characters, the only reference I have are these drawings that I did ages ago. Here. So this next person, I don't know how much of this you can see because it's on the tiny camera, right? But she has like half a shield on either hand, on either arm, and she like puts them together to make a whole shield. So her deal is that she's like super defensive, right? So you would have to play her like super guarded, like guard load and then break and fight. That would be her play. I've put a lot more thought than I really should have into some of these characters. Into a game that I'm never going to make. So a shield is like the main thing here. It's split in two down the middle. It's like a Viking type shield, right? This. And her head pokes out top. She has like wings on the side of her head and like a helmet. And she's super like closed up like that. She's holding her shield up like that, basically. That's the pose we're going for. But we're probably gonna have to do some drawing through here. That's her cage, that's her hips. She could almost be stood like completely resolute like that. It's like a statue. Statuesque, perhaps. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll put one leg more out. Just looks more interesting, doesn't it? And then what she's got like a massive braid jet that you're not really going to see. Well, I guess we could put it like back here and like down here. Because fighting game characters tend to have some like big thing about them that reveals their movement, so you get loads of crazy secondary movement in all of their animations, so you can tell what they're doing better. So like she has a really long ponytail, she's got a really long plait, she's got like a cape. That's the deal. So lots of ways to create secondary movement, right? And there's this guy here who's like a cop. He's like a big burly dude with a massive mane. Why does my mic keep unplugging? It's a bit annoying, isn't it? So he's like this dude. See that? Probably not. He's like a big burly cop with a mustache and a massive mace, like a stupidly oversized mace. That's his deal. He's like coming in off the side of this panel, so he's like in profile here. And he's got a cop's hat. He's like the police chief of the town, who's been tasked with like bringing the Saturday Nights to justice. and he's like a big dude, like crazy big. So when you like draw people, right, they have like sort of this kind of shape, right, like this. But like when you draw the Hulk and people like that, they're more sort of like starfishy. So like, why do I keep doing that? They're like this, right? Does that make sense? Basically, they have like really fat torsos and limbs and really little heads. And he's kind of like that. He's kind of like Hulk-sized. Like a big dude with big muscles. So he's like that. And we'll draw his mace sort of here. Well, it's just flail actually, technically. Bam. Like this. Okay. Is it starting to make sense, chat? What I'm trying to do here? You're starting to pick up what I'm putting down now? And that has like a chain that goes here. Oh yeah, and then this was like the jester girl who she has like a knife, right? You see this? She has like a little knife and some gauntlets, and she's like punchy and stabby. Yeah, it's taking shape. Yeah, and she's on like rollerblades, like roller skates. She's like a roller derby jester type person. And she's also one of the Saturday Nights. So there's 4 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's 2 cops. 1, 2. There's the big villain dude in the background here, who's like the main baddie. He's like the M. Bison of the game. And then there's this robot guy here, who's like a neutral type guy, who I figured would be like DLC. This guy, and his name is Arcade. So he would come in when the game adds an arcade mode. Literally, I put so much thought into this thing that I'm never going to make because I don't know how to make video games. And I don't have the time to learn or find people that do. But hey, it's just a fun way to... You need something to come up with characters for, right? If you're going to do character design. I did all the ones for the comics that I'm actually making, so... So she's here. And then this is the other cop here. Who's a girl? with the gun. That's her deal. So how are we going to do that? For starters, those shoulders are far too broad. I guess she's going to be like this, right? Like that. So now we just need this dude. He's like a robot guy. So his face is like a screen, right? That has like a pixelated face on it. And he has a rapier. He's like a duelist. That's his deal. Let's move like that. Right, and then before we do the big guy in the background, let's reposition some of this so it's more central. And I want to resize this figure here because it's too small. More like that. Put it in so you can see the edge of the sword better. And then I feel like she has to be higher up. Yeah, that'll do. And then this guy. I've actually lost the reference drawing that I did for this guy and for this cop here. So we're going to have to kind of wing it with these ones, see if I can remember what they look like. But if not, we'll just make it up as we go along. I know he has like horns on his head. He's a bit Shovel Knight-y, to be honest. A bit Magneto-y at the same time. Well, that's kind of the vibe, right? And then his eyes are like little beads in here. Like that. The whole thing needs to come sort of more like, oops. Actually, yeah, let's pencil in like the edges of his torso just so we know where it is. Right. And then this whole thing needs to be like here. Cool. So you see how like compositionally these heads and stuff lead you in this kind of V pattern in here, which is where the text is going to be that says Saturday Nights, and then in the space is this big villain's head here, which is kind of looking up and away from this downward point to give you that tension, so you know that he is sort of anti these guys because he's the big bad that hates them all. Does that make sense, chat, or am I just talking shit? Let me know. Let me know. Okay. Now we need to go and do a further refinement. I think we're going to do this girl first. Basically, we're just going to rough in the finer points. Let's use a slightly different blue. Here we go. Cool. Perfect sense. So many characters. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. We're not going to get this anything like finished today, chat. I don't even know if I'll get the pencils done today. But my poster pieces tend to be the ones that take the longest. And that generally, I think, are my best pieces. So, that's the trade-off, though, isn't it? Good stuff takes a long time. Yeah, so she's got like these spikes on the end of her thing because she's kicky. That's her deal. It's quite a cartoony art style that we're going for here, by the way, chat, which is unlike most of the most of the posters that I make are like for movies or like big video games that the artwork's quite like very realistic, but this is more like cartoony, this one, because the art style for the game would be quite cartoony. Then she has these big armor plates on her legs to help her what with the kicking and all. Needs to be more round, because if this leg's coming towards us, chat, like this, you've got to think of it as like a cylinder, so everything on it is going to go around it like this. So you'd need to go like round it like that. And then this bit kind of comes off it outwards. So that she can move her leg. So you can sort of see that there. It's like it's tight here and then it comes off here. And then she has like this armor panel here. And then her other leg is also armoured. And this is like chainmail, so she can move her leg, at least. But again, the chainmail is going to follow the shape of the leg because it's three-dimensional. And she has a leather jacket on because it's the 80s, right? Well, it's not the 80s, but it's the 80s future. She's like a biker girl type aesthetic. And honestly, chat, I think she's my favourite character that I designed for this. If this was a real game, I think I'd play it as her. But then I do play as like kicky people in most fighting games, so I could play as Ken in Street Fighter and stuff, so makes sense, right? Actually, this is, I think, going to be a fist. Maybe not. Maybe not a fist. How are we looking on sound and video, by the way, chat? Is everything still running? I assume my webcam hasn't died yet, although that may happen again. So it's like that side, so it's like flared down like that. Oh, one sec, chat, I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Yeah, I am, yeah. Yeah, just give me one sec. Give me a sec, chat. I'll be 5 minutes. Gotta go sort something out. I'm back, chat. Sorry about that. Thanks for sticking around. I just had to go and talk to my landlord real quick because he's basically fixed a leak in our bathroom the other day and he's just checking that it's all sorted, which it is. But it would have been nice if he'd have told me that he was coming round. Oh well. Oh yeah, it's like kind of a cropped type deal, this top, isn't it? It's like this. I'm really rude, chat, but I feel like we need a bit more in the rear area. To really sell that pose there. Because you just kind of like arch the back to pull a leg up. So like her hips would be rotated this way, right? Oops. So it'd be like fine. Sound and vision good, okay. Excellente. This is what we like to hear, chat. This is good news. I feel like that needs to be more like here. Yeah, she's going to have both her hands, her fists clenched. I think there's going to be a lot of clenched fists in this poster, chat, because it is a fighting game, so. So this hand's like coming forwards, right? So normally on an arm, it's like this, right? So that's your arm, that's your forearm right here, with your hand on the end. But if it's coming towards us more, again, you'll think it's cylindrically like this. The more forwards you get, the less, the less you're going to see of the arm, till basically it's just the hand with a circle around it like that. That's all you can see of it. Because the arm is like hidden by the hand that's in front of it. See that? So you can see the forearm, but if it's coming towards you, you can't. So that's basically it, right? This is the start of the forearm here, and then it ends here where the hand starts. Like this strap coming off, which helps you track the movement of her hands. That's kind of a distraction away from her feet. It's kind of the gameplay style. Bum, 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 And she's like looking down at us, but her face is up, so she's like that. Kind of a hero pose, right? Because that's with posing figures, right? If you're looking up at a figure, it tends to look more imposing because they're like stood over you. Whereas if you're looking down from the top, they look sort of weaker because you're looking down over them. Because these are all like burly Street Fighter people. We want them to look pretty beastly. It's kind of weird, chat. Looks kind of weird. I'll probably get reference for that face when I do it further on. It's like this. So it's like that. Make this collar bigger so that it makes more sense, and also so that we can cover up that neck so we don't have to draw as much. The head's far too small, chat. Whoops. Why is that shrinking it? Oh, because that's moved to there, that's why. Still way too small, that head, isn't it? Because you gotta think, right? People are normally sort of 7 or 8 heads tall, right, if you're going to break it down. So let's get the shape of the head. She's going to have hair, chat, but for now. It's better. And obviously I'm not measuring how many heads tall this figure is, I'm just basically winging it. It's horrendous, chat. Okay. Ah, what's it out? Just because I'm treating this as the chin, which it isn't. This is the chin. Doi. Dahoy, chat. Whatever, fuck it, I'll do it for now. That'll do for now, chat. And she has, okay, so she's got like kind of a bit of a fringe type deal here, and then this bit like kind of goes to there, and it's all tied back like that. Well, I guess you wouldn't see the hair tie because it's sort of here. So you would just see the ponytail at the back. Which goes kind of like this. Face is too long. I think that's the problem. Done it again. It's a bit better. Okay, there's going to be another stage of refinement before we get anywhere near inks, by the way, chat, so buckle in, buckle up. Stand back and stand by, chat. Okay, now we're going to go move on to this gal. So this sword is a weird sword. Okay. Like a thing that goes like this. Like that. Beautiful. And this goes into here. And comes out towards us. Well, let's end it here instead, so it can fit on the page better. If that's the thing, then the middle would be there. So it'd be like that. This is in the wrong place because it needs to be adjacent to this. So it needs to be like there, so that it doesn't look wonky. This bit is longer than this bit, so we need to change that. So that this is the same length as this, which is more like that. Okay, then we have to do the and. So if she's like that, booby doo. No, it has to be like that. So this hand kind of comes up here. And then the forearms like that. It's kind of like the wrists like bent like that. And then this one's like straight, like that, like straight wrist. Like this. So the elbow line's like this, right? Elbow to elbow, and shoulder to shoulder is like that. See that? Right. But obviously the inside of this arm is going to be covered by a chest. Which is armoured, so do we have to consider that right now? No, I'm just going to get the thing in first. Although actually this, yeah, her arms are armoured, so we should probably get that in. So it's like guessing chainmail, yeah. So armor is like thick, it has a weight to it. It sits on the outside of the arm. So it's not like this, right? It's like that. It comes off the arm of it and out of it. True of anything, any clothes or anything like that. Like if you were going to draw someone in like a t-shirt, you wouldn't just go like this, because it's not like painted on them. So it comes off them like this, right? Unless it is painted on them, or unless it's spandex, you know. And then there's like a plate here to shield the hand either hands. See that? There. And she's got gloves on. But we'll worry about that later. And then she's got these like shoulder pauldron things on. So we got to think about that. This one's probably easier to do first, do we think? Yeah. So it sits like on the shoulder there and then comes out like here. Like here. Like that. And then this one sits like on the shoulder here, comes out like this. But it's covered by the sword, right? That's too high up. Feels like that one's going up and this one's going down, so change that. Should be more like that. Because her shoulders are pointed like, well, her arms like pulling her shoulder down. Even though the shoulder line is kind of more up, this one's like pointing down. So you want to look sort of top down on the pauldron rather than bottom up, like this way rather than this way. That's why this edge of it curves like that as opposed to like that. And then she's got armor plating with like a cloth around it that becomes her cape. Oh, I remember this. I really enjoyed coming up with this one. It's a fun one. So it would be, that's too low. It would be more like up here. Here, or like here, yeah, like this. Okay, and then it's feeds into these circle bits that would be here and here. Like that. Okay, and then there's like this metal collar bit that I guess you wouldn't see that side of, or even really this side of it. I guess you don't really see any of it because the head's going to be in the way. So that's fine. Definitely needs to be more like creating more of a movement this way, right? Like this.